Lock in, engage, and listen to the Uncultured Radio Show with Mzwakhe, Twiice, and DJ.
My name is Kombo Mutombo, aka General, and now it's the 14th of July. History in the making for Fashion District Radio, the Uncultured Radio Show. And of course, I'm not rolling by my ace, I'm always rolling with my brother, my bro, my brigade, Mzwakhe. What you saying, baby?
Too nice.
We're not rolling by our ace either, man. We're always rocking with the right lady for the job. Media Guru 247. They say MTB, what you saying?
Sengi 4 pipe manje ngitshele ngathi ngingenela ngi 2 pipe isukuwa ku 4 sengu 6 manje.
Shout outs to Remy Martin for that. Doubling up for DJ. Now ngena 2 pipe, my 4 pipe. And guess who's in the building? Yo, Riky Rick is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Ricky, what's good, brother?
Thank you. Nice to be here.
You good? You good?
Yeah, last time I was here, I don't think any of this was here.
Yeah.
When did this come up?
I mean, in September 18.
September 18?
Yeah, September 18. So we've been building, baby. Yeah, man. It's good to see you. I hear you, Okipile. You're not really comfortable in there. When did you get those out?
On Thursday.
On Thursday?
Yeah, on Thursday.
Damn. Look, is it still painful?
Yeah, it's still painful.
Damn.
I just don't like not being able to talk, you know.
I know.
Nice.
When I can talk, I'm funu kuluma. When funu kuluma, I can't talk.
It's true.
So it's like bad. You gotta be grateful.
You gotta be grateful. Exactly, man. That's exactly how we started out the show, man. It really is part of our Sunday service. And every day we start the show by just being grateful. And each and every one of us, just like details, whatever they're grateful for the week or for the day. So, smooth away, and just on your end, what are you grateful for, my brother?
Right now?
Right now.
Yeah, I'm just like do things, you know. Yeah, we take it for granted the ability to do stuff, and we take it for granted the ability to get up in the morning and have a job. As crappy as a job might be, or as how difficult it might be, we take those things for granted.
Yeah.
And, to have to wake up at 5:30 in the morning or 6 in the morning,
Yeah.
and be somewhere by 7:30 is a blessing.
Sure.
I'm starting to realize that more now,
Yeah.
day by day. So I'm grateful for everything, man. I'm grateful to be here. Grateful to speak to you.
Sure. Thank you so much for that, man. We're grateful that you're here. The tradition of this show, my brother, we want to always start at the beginning. You know, Ivenda lagwamashu. You know, where are you really from, my brother? Like, just so that, just in case some of our listeners have no idea where Riky Rick or Ricardo Mercado is from.
Yeah, so I was born in Durban.
Yeah.
My mother's side of the family, my mother's family, which is my family,
Yeah.
is from Durban,
Yeah.
and my father was a vendor man.
Yeah.
We lived in Polokwane, Teflop.
Oh yeah. So you also like when you
that time
moved.
they called it Petersburg.
Yeah, back in the day, vibes.
Yeah, so I don't know, you know, when people, you know, abantu bamnyama obviously fanele uthathe from ubaba, you know.
Yeah.
But I grew up in Durban. I grew up with my mother and my grandmother. So I've always identified myself as a Zulu boy. The vendor side of me is something that's always there.
Yeah.
And it's something that as the older I get, I always keep trying to dig deeper and find my roots.
Yeah.
But it's difficult when you sort of almost feel like you're an outcast in your own community.
I know.
Because even now, like when I come across like some of my vendor brothers,
Yeah.
bayaz ukuthi ngikhuluma isiZulu kuphela, but like sometimes bazongiphoxa ngesivenda sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
And it's difficult, you know. That's why most people sometimes they just rep one place, but most people are from different places, you know. Most
Yeah.
people are from 2 or 3 different places.
Yeah.
But sometimes you end up repping one place because of the rejection. So, in any case, I grew up in Durban.
Yeah.
And went to school in Durban, and came back up to Joburg after high school. And
So you spent your whole high school vibe in Durban.
yeah.
Right, and then you moved to Joburg after high school.
At Hilton College.
Hilton College.
At Hilton College.
The vibes.
That's like at the time when I was going to school, I didn't actually know what school I was going to. My dad just packed me packed me a suitcase and said, "You're going to boarding school."
Yeah.
And by the time I get to this place in the middle of nowhere, in KZN, I see these gates open up. I thought it was heaven. I thought this guy is taking me to some spa.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is really amazing.
Yeah.
White buildings and big white walls, white fences, and beautiful green grass. You know,
Yeah.
it was something I'd never experienced in my life before.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's like probably one of the most memorable things. My dad taking me to school. That was
crazy.
really, really memorable. Yeah, because I didn't know where I was going.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine like someone tells like, okay, pack your passport, pack your bags, we're going somewhere.
Yeah.
And then you end up like in Paris. Or
Yeah.
You end up drinking tea with the
Yeah.
queen.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it felt like for me.
So it was a pleasant surprise for you. It wasn't like, hey, how? And in this now?
Pleasant surprise, but difficult at the same time because we were traveling a lot with my mother, and I just come back from Austria.
Yeah.
And in Austria, we'd sort of gotten used to a certain type of culture.
Sure.
Multilingual,
Yeah.
international school type vibes.
Yeah.
You know, people from the Middle East, people from Asia, people from Americas, wherever they come from. And then when I came back here for the high school, I ended up back in a situation which was, you know, Hilton is a white school, predominantly white school.
Yeah.
And that was difficult for
Was
me.
it a big adjustment for you?
It was, yeah, it was, but I'm a quick learner,
Yeah.
and I encourage like new challenges, you know, because if I didn't sort of do that, I don't think I would have become the person I am today. I
Okay.
wouldn't have had all the aspects of my.
So kule gela
my
lezifana
personality.
nabo Hilton, right?
Yeah.
I know they encourage a lot of like athleticism and sports and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Were you into sport, or is this where you discovered your creative side as girl?
Yeah, but we were. Funny enough, they encourage sports more now. They only used to encourage rugby before.
Oh, yeah.
But now they encourage everything because I think it's almost 50-50 in terms of, black
Oh, the
white
other, yeah,
ratio.
yeah.
So, but I mean, when I was there, the main focus for them was just making you a gentleman.
Yeah.
It wasn't really about sport or about anything like that. It was
Okay.
really about being a gentleman. Everything else that you could fit in on the side, whether it was music, you're going to have to steal it. But they're really trying to sort of teach you to be a gentleman.
Yeah.
And I think most boarding schools are actually about that.
Oh, crazy.
So, we used to sneak off. I was part of the choir, and we used to sneak off with a couple of friends of mine and go rap in the choir room, at the back of the choir room, on Wednesday nights. So,
Oh, yeah?
And,
So this rap thing, dala iguwe, when did you pick that up? When did you get the bug? When did that bug hit you? Like almost like hip hop, and then you were like, oh man, I want to make this. Oh, I want to be part of this.
Well, I was always the hip hop guy.
Yeah.
In Guamash, I remember my mom playing Salt and Pepper a lot. She used to play Salt and Pepper a lot.
Crazy.
And that was like my early memories of hip hop.
Yeah.
Was Salt and Pepper. And just going forward in life, that was always my favorite music. Rap and hip hop was always my favorite music. And it's kind of weird that Salt and Pepper was like the first artist I remember, but yeah.
But they were big, right? Back in the
They were
those
big.
days. They really were big.
They were big at that time, and
Yeah.
and we could swear. We could swear. Like they had this song, "Let's Talk About Sex."
Yeah.
And all my gogs used to say no in Klamba lento, but my mom was like, "No, we have to talk about it."
Oh, crazy.
And it was really cool to have that sort of hip hop. Sort of gave me the viewpoint that you can actually do and say what you want to do, as long as there's a meaning behind it.
Okay, that this conversation kind of is taking me to an artist called Pretty Riky, which is like your first vibe, I think, as an artist, right? When you did that, and I did my research. I called a couple of cats, and they told me, Bongs. Bongani Fasi was a part of that, but it's like back in the day, before hip hop was like what it is now, when it was like divided between the North and like the Kasi rap and the Mzwakhe vibes, right? So when you moved from Hilton and you moved to Joburg, what was it? Your purpose to pursue music, or did you have other goals in mind?
I actually wanted to go into finance
Oh, crazy.
at high school,
Yeah.
and then when my father passed away, there was almost like a gift and a curse. Like, the curse was obviously that you lose someone who's
yeah.
meant to nurture you through life. But the gift was then I didn't sort of have a plan for university.
Oh, crazy.
And when you don't have a plan for university, you can discover a lot of things,
Yeah.
good or bad,
Yeah.
And I didn't really go to university. Well, I went to VC, but that's not, I wasn't taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And then, like, I met up with this cat called Black, and there was this producer that I knew from earlier days skateboarding called Oots.
Yeah.
And he put me on to like just beats, and then we used to freestyle at VC.
Yeah.
Every lunchtime we used to freestyle at VC, freestyle after school. I was that guy who got home at 6,
Okay.
And then that sort of told me that, okay, maybe we have something going,
Yeah.
And then I decided to leave there and go to film school.
Mm-hmm.
And at film school, I was really just buying time too. As much as I love film, I was really just buying time.
I was going to ask you about that. Like, did you go there to pursue film, or you were just like, yeah, that's like
Funny
moving?
thing, I mean, I tell like, sorry, I keep jumping topics for you.
It's all good,
no
man.
worries,
It's all
no
good.
worries.
It's a conversation.
Yeah.
I always tell like filmmakers, and because I've sort of been through the schooling system, like the best filmmakers out right now, like didn't really go to school. They picked up the tool,
Yeah.
and you really gotta just pick up the tool. And I always felt like I was good enough with technology. I was good enough with laptops. I was good enough with figuring stuff out. So I was just like, let me pick up the tool of everything I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
So I ended up like leaving varsity college. Leaving varsity college and going to AFTA. And when I got to AFTA, I made a mistake by going into the studio,
Oh,
to the
crazy.
sound studio.
Yeah.
And then I chose to do sound. And then from there, I made like a mixtape. In my first year, I made my first mixtape.
Yeah.
And that was really dope. That was really dope because it was like, man, I was really just lost looking for a position here
Yeah.
at school, trying to get marks.
Yeah.
But I just found actually what I love. Like
Yeah.
I was mixing.
Yeah.
And then I fell in love with that, but I didn't know how to make music.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah,
That's
I didn't know
I
how
guess
to
that's
make
like a
music.
great distinction. It's like people who know how to record themselves may think they know how to make music, but like being able to say, yeah, yes, like at the time I didn't know how to make music.
Yeah.
So, but did you find that being at AFTA versus being at VC gave you, like, in terms of just like the people that you surrounded yourself with, did that like maybe open you up a little bit more in terms of just like circles and proximity?
Yeah.
Was that like the case?
Yeah, I think what AFTA does, which is brilliant, is having a whole bunch of people that want to be creative.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
some of them might leave not being creative.
Yeah,
and some of
yeah.
them aren't cut out to be creative.
Yeah.
But at least everyone has the passion to be creative.
Yeah.
And when you're in a space like that, like you guys have your show
Yeah.
that you do together,
Yeah.
and it's mad creatives, and it's just like it's a beautiful flow.
Yeah.
It's, you don't have to fight for ideas.
Sure.
And when you do fight for ideas, it's a good fight.
Sure.
And that inspires you to always try to be better.
Uh-huh.
And I remember like Jub coming to like pick up some girls
Yeah.
at after
Out
like
to
the
Block.
drop top. Him coming to pick up some girls. So like we were just minding our own business, but it was like when we saw that, it was like maybe there's more to all of this that we're doing, because
Yeah.
Jub was someone who was in TV
Yeah.
and had just broken into music.
Yeah.
And he inspired us to like keep going, even though we thought the courses were
Trash.
Were trash.
Yeah. Trash.
Guys like that inspired us to keep going,
Yeah.
And I hope like kids at AFTA right now that are trying to find their feet, or at any film school or city varsity or wherever, or you're at Vits doing film or whatever.
Sure.
I hope they get inspired by the guys that have been through those channels, and like you can do anything. You can be a director, you can still be a musician, you can be a fashion designer, you can be really anything,
Yeah.
I met another homie who, oh man, it's a sad story, but I met another homie who just went completely the other direction in terms of what he does, and became an owner. Instead of like wanting to shoot, he just became like an investor.
Production. Oh, crazy.
Investor in production. So,
Crazy.
entertainment is beautiful because there's always opportunities
Yeah.
for people to do things.
More about you and the music, right? Like, when did you know that like your major now, like, and I mean just like as an individual, not as Skela, nowhere, not anywhere else, that you were gonna pursue music for real. So when did that penny drop? What did you see, or what happened when you were like, yo, there's actually like either coins here or so much opportunity here, I'm sticking to this thing?
But what I say to people, I was always gonna do music.
Yeah.
Whether I became somebody or whether I got on TV or
Yeah.
I was always gonna make music
Because of the love of music
because
first.
of the love of the
Yeah.
music and my joy of picking up new things.
Yeah.
I get excited when I can pick up a new hobby. I get excited, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't last that long sometimes, the excitement, but like I really get happy to pick up new things. But music has always been the one constant throughout.
Oh, yeah.
I never did music sort of to become somebody.
Oh, yeah.
I never had dreams of being a Michael Jackson or anything like that. And which is why I don't really even collaborate with people that much, because like, I enjoy being a fan of music.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoy just being a fan of music, and I like listening to music and making it when I feel like I've got something to say.
Oh, crazy.
So for me, music has just always been like the constant. So when things started happening, it wasn't really me buying in, it was really me buying out of other things and deciding not to do other things. And when the music thing was starting to happen, I was like, okay, let me just finish this album. But my thing was always, let me just do one album and then go learn another skill.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, or fortunately for some, music was able to hold us in for
yeah.
quite a while, you know, and I'm grateful for
And
that.
I guess like at a time when cats were like naming their albums like really rappy stuff, like, you know, rap centric, if there's a word like that. But you went with like family values, right? And when I think when I listened and a bunch of us, like when we listened to the album, like the first time when it was still fresh, we're like, where's the rap stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Because you went like a lot more musical, right? And it was a lot more emotionally charged, you know? Like, what inspired? Why did you do like that?
Well, like, I would say, and I still say to this day, like, I might not even drop another album. Like, my only mission after all the mixtapes I did and all the stuff I did like 8 mixtapes. And sometimes 200 people would listen to them. Sometimes I'd get 1,000 downloads. That was like a good day. You know?
Yeah.
And that was really meant to be my last album, like my last album.
Family Values?
Yeah. I always looked at that like that would be my first and sort of last album. And I didn't want to leave. I wanted to leave like another story that South African youth can tell.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, we look at the government and we look at like all our leaders and stuff, and the thing that we're missing the most was really the family values, you know.
Oh yeah.
Like, we have such a high rate of teenage pregnancy, we have a high rate of single mothers and single fathers, and but we don't really look for role models that talk about family. And I'm not that role model at all, but I was like putting it up there to something I can aspire to in my actions, you know. I always tell people, even like the stuff I put on my Instagram or quotes that I put on my Instagram and stuff like that, it's not for you guys, it's really for me.
Yeah.
Like, anything I put out is really for me.
A
like,
message to self.
It's a message to myself. You know? So at that time, my son was about to be born, and I always had the idea of like just doing something that represents a young families. You know?
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not saying I'm the first to incorporate family into hip hop in South Africa, but I felt like it was important for us to do that because I knew a lot of great fathers, Reason even being one of them, because I was even working closely with Reason at the time. And the stuff we used to talk about, just about him being a dad and how difficult it was, him being married and all that stuff, how difficult it was. It was like, damn, this might be things that we can start introducing into hip hop, and look how far it is now.
That's crazy. DJ, you got a question?
Yeah, certainly. I'm glad you mentioned your Instagram post. You posted something beautiful a few hours ago where you were just bigging up Bianca, and I'm really intrigued at what kind of a man inspired you to be the man that you are. I understand that you went to boarding school and you've got people around you, but who was that one man that made you look up to him so that you could be the kind of father you are to your daughter and your son?
It's yeah, that answer's sort of twofold.
Right.
Because my role models was really like Tupac.
Yeah.
Tupac and Ice Cube was my role models, right?
Right.
I see the fit.
Yeah, you know. And but like the older I got, like my mother, when my parents were divorced, and my mother found a new man, and his name is Kumi Naidu. You should Google him. He's amazing. You should actually Google him. He's an amazing guy.
Kumi Naidu.
Yeah, Kumi Naidu. Right now, yeah, he's working for Amnesty International,
Right.
and he was an activist and just a stand-up guy. But anyway, he came into our lives as my mom's partner,
Right.
and you know, everything I learned from my dad. You know, my dad was a great guy, but like most vendor men, you know,
Yeah.
he you know, he had a roving eye. You know.
Yeah.
And he had a roving eye, and he was focused on his business. He was focused on his money.
Yeah.
And then when my mom linked up with Kumi, he showed like a different side, you know, because my mom had 4 children, and he still came in to her life and was there for her and was there for us, regardless whether we were his children or not. And till this day, he's still there. You know, 20-something years later, he's still there. And he's never, you know, I never used to like him. You know, I used to always look at him like rising in our space. You know,
Funa.
but you know, that guy really taught me how to be a class act. You know, he's like the perfect example of a good man. And then he still does great work with the environment. You know, he was the head of Greenpeace, and now he's Amnesty International. He continues to serve people,
Right.
whether it's to his detriment. You know, he's had some heart problems and stress problems, but he continues to serve people and still love his children. You know, and still call me when I'm down. And yeah, that's such a great guy. So I've always looked up to him silently. These days I call him more to try to tell him that thank you for everything that you did for us.
That's dope.
When we needed you, because, you know, and you know, similar with me and Bianca. You know, Bianca had a daughter by the name of Jordan, and Jordan really also sort of put me in a zone to be more responsible and reflect on what life's really about. You know, and trying to be a little bit selfless, even though I'm a selfish human being.
Yeah.
And I've been selfish most of my life. But you know, people like that have inspired me to try to be a little bit better.
Dog, I know this because I work also with like a lot of the youngins that you inspire that are in the game. I spent a lot of time with Party Time last year, like for most of the year. And like he just kept reiterating the importance of just being around you and the conversations that you have. And then I saw this at Cotton Fest, right? Like all of the youngers, like really being like just behind you, you know? Like what is it that like you think you're imparting to them that's different to other cats, that I can tell that they feel it when they're with you? But you know, like Riky called me to his house, we chopped it up, you know, like you can see when the brood is talking, like, yo, this guy's like, he feels, like he just had a dope, meaningful hour or day.
Yeah.
What do you think, why is it important for cats who are in your position, who have like unlocked some of the crazy things in the industry, for the youngers, the ones who are coming with like the new wave, that we sometimes don't understand their sound and don't understand what they're saying or what they're doing, but to help them position themselves in a way that will kind of set them up to a successful path. I don't know if I'm phrasing that right, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what it is, because half of the time I don't want to speak to anybody. Like I wish my phone would stop ringing. You know?
Yeah.
And I don't really pick up my phone a lot. You know? Also, that's one of my bad habits. But through the journeys, I've sort of like realized that like actually all the Ntwanas need, and the Ntwanistros that are coming up, like all they really need is somebody to listen to them. You know.
Sure.
And we shouldn't confuse like building relationships with cosigns, you know.
Yeah.
And like when I post somebody or when I talk about somebody, I'm not trying to cosign them. I'm just like sending love their way.
Sure.
And I've always believed that these guys have the ability to take what we done to such a high level. And lucky enough, I don't really care about music dominance, So for me, it's not really about tracks, and it's not really about music. I don't link up with them to do collabos or to. That's not my interest. I'm not interested in that at all. If it happens, it happens. What I'm more interested in is that if people can see like the path that I've lived, and maybe can steal a couple pages out of my book, steal a couple pages out of my show, steal a couple pages out of my associations, and how I've done stuff branding wise. I want them to steal all of that.
Sure.
So when the conversation is open, it's like wide open.
Sure.
And if I can't give you anything. The only thing I can do is have a conversation with you. And I always try to tell the other kids that I don't know, like, I don't want to like meet up with you and take photos.
Yeah.
I don't want to meet up with you and take photos. I'd rather like meet up with you, necessarily Bram or whatever, like Skulum, and have a conversation and tell me about your life. Like, let me get to know you. Those are the people that have affected me the most. People have got nothing to do with my industry,
Yeah.
People just sat and listened.
It's rapping.
Yeah.
Facts.
Let's just talk and because everything is always about an end goal. So I don't have an end goal with any of these kids, I only wish for them to pick up all the knowledge and pick up from all my mistakes, and I don't mind sharing on that level.
Sure.
And I just, we were told not to rap in English.
Yeah. Remember that era? Like,
we were told not to rap in English. We were told not to rap over these mixtape beats. We were told not to do mixtape. We were told not to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to be in a position to tell the kids not to do what they're doing. They got to do it. But they must understand that they're really in it by themselves.
Sure.
You're really in it by yourself. And if you can make it through by yourself, you're going to be here to last for long, man.
Let me hit that horn right now.
Certainly. I'm so glad that you touched on Uncle Party Time, because I watched D Koala. Is it D Koala?
Yeah.
Kaula. You invited her over a few weeks ago, and she was so inspired. She went on for a whole hour talking about how much knowledge you really imparted, I want to talk about Uncle Vinny though.
What you saying? The legendary crowd surfer now.
Man, because I've seen you. See, you're so calm right now. This is actually calming me down. I'm never calm for
energy
nothing,
reserved.
right?
Bored,
Yeah.
But then you go on stage, and then you've got Uncle
Which
Vinny.
way?
My first time I actually saw you was at the Genesis gig that happened a few months ago.
Yeah.
I went nuts. Come on, you doing us busy. Which way? I want to talk about what do you see in these kids? Because when I first saw Uncle Vinny, he's into things, and then he's on stage, and then he's a monster.
Crowd surfing.
Right?
Yeah. Every show.
What is it with these youngins that are actually? Why do you want to chill with them?
Well, they make my job a bit more fun.
Yeah.
Right.
To be honest with you. I've been performing for 5 years continuously on the road.
Yeah.
I haven't had much time to think about things that I really want to do. And most times when I get to shows, most times I don't really want to be there. I want to be in another space. And what these young guys have done for me is make the space more enjoyable, because I get to learn from them.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't like being in a situation where I'm doing the same thing over and over. When I feel like I'm not learning, or I feel like there's no gain in a crowd, or there's no input from a crowd, I feel like I'm really wasting my time.
Yeah.
Wasting your time too, So what the kids do, and me doing these events with the kids and pulling up for their events and coming to their shows, I get to learn again.
Right.
I get to learn again, and that's the most. I don't do anything for them, man. They do their own thing. They're their own energy. They're gonna be who they're gonna be, but they do so much for me. They give me energy to pull up to a show,
Right.
and drive from Midrand to Nhlakanipho, Republic or whatever.
Yeah.
It's really for them. It's not really for me. Everyone's seen me 100 times. I don't think there's anyone in the country who hasn't seen me perform.
It's true. Where's that horn?
Let me drop the horn right now.
So it's nothing new. It's nothing new for anybody, right?
Yeah.
Right.
When I get to witness them doing some stuff,
Yeah.
it really inspires me. Wow, okay, something is happening. Something. Because I was always a recluse. My whole thing was and I still tell Bianca now, if I can open up enough businesses and structure my life in a really nice way, in an efficient manner,
Yeah.
I would probably not leave the house.
Right.
Yeah.
I would probably not leave the house. I would have everything running from my house.
Yeah.
That's like the dream. Have people coming into my house, but me not really leaving the house.
Because
Yeah.
when you leave the house, it's pandemonium
Yeah.
in the streets.
It's something else, but like I feel like there's an energy that I still want to curate, you know.
Yeah.
And like I was talking about Kumi, and
Yeah.
they actually opened up something in where is it, in Wombats? Huh? Where's that place? Wombats. Where is it? The place that Kumi and them opened up, the ranch in Rustlers.
Oh,
They opened up like a ranch in Rustlers,
oh, crazy.
where people can just like relax and take a break from life and breathe, you know.
Switch off the phone.
Switch off your phones
It's my man.
and recharge yourself.
Yeah.
And like I see myself getting to something like that sooner or later. So yeah, man. To answer your question,
Yeah.
the kids give me energy to still love what I do. Without them, I would probably be long doing something else.
Right. Yeah. No. I just wanted to actually quote what you said this morning about you wanting to buy all that ice and the latest car, but B's like, nah, honey, let's build something first. So you've now started, well, I saw it recently in the past couple of weeks, a barbershop. Is it a barbershop?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When did that come through? I mean, we know you as, you know, the rapper that you are, but now we look at you in a different light as a businessman, and I see your boys are clean, they're suited up. You can see the combos are always communicating. Where did that vision come from, and what's the plan moving forward?
Well, Sheldon has done a great job, and he's actually got one right next door to you guys too.
Right.
He's done a great job of building this brand. You know, when I met Sheldon, he had one branch in the south, and he always keep telling me like, "Yo, Ricky, I'm trying to make this barbershop thing big. I'm trying to make it big." And you know, being the young people we are, and new to money and all those things, you know, I didn't really support him when I should have early. You know, when he kept telling me about, you know, trying to open up in Soweto. He's tried twice to open up in Soweto. Now he's got it right with the Maponya Mall one, and you know, I just feel like I never gave him the right input in the right ear. I wasn't in the right space, but we remained friends, and he remained my barber for the past 4 years, and I watched him grow a black business, a serious black business that does great work, you know.
That's dope.
And that's not easy. It's not easy for black brothers or colored brothers or whatever to open up businesses that can spread throughout the whole country. They don't allow too many of us to do that. And
Sure.
Sheldon was a real inspiration. He's like, I'm gonna go get it. And I told him like, yo, if you ever wanna start franchising your shop,
Yeah.
I gotta be the first one. And he called me, you know, straight away, and was like, I actually got a plan for you. And I said, let's do it, you know. And I wish I'd gotten in like much earlier.
Yeah.
But it's been so dope watching him and V and the whole team that he has building it, you know. And now we're just gonna try to build it to another level and take it to another level. I see they're renovating the store too.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to make all the stores beautiful and just really, you know, really add our flavor to it too. And you know, it's so important to support black businesses, guys. And even if it's with your little 1,000 or 2,000 investment, it's so important, you know, especially when these kids, a lot of them want to do pop-ups, a lot of them want to do albums, and it might be a small amount that they're looking for. It's important for us to come together and build something, you know.
Sure.
We've been previously disadvantaged, but in 2019 we have no excuse.
Yeah, sure.
We have no excuse to not build,
Yeah.
and not have radio stations and
Yeah,
not
man.
have our own equipment.
For sure.
We don't have any more excuse because
The time is now.
The time is now for everybody, and it's
Yeah.
there, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, if people have clothing lines or whatever, let's like try band together, because you never know how far it's gonna go. I used to share the same story about myself. I asked like a close friend of mine to borrow me 30,000 so I could do my album,
Yeah.
my Family Values album.
Yeah.
And he was like a super millionaire, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't do it. He didn't believe in the vision or whatever, and so the 30K didn't come out. So, and we just did the album off of the strength and like asking people for favors and all that. And like, if that investment of 30K for 50% of the Riky Rick business was executed at that time, it was going to be great for everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm also trying to learn from that lesson myself. Let's invest in our brothers and sisters a little bit.
For sure.
And let's create jobs.
Speaking of which, your relationship currently with Remy Martin, it's something that I know that they've been doing in the US for quite some time, right? The Remy Producers series. They did 5, I think, seasons in the States, and the 6th one is the one that they're doing with you right now. It really borders on that, on like helping young talent and bringing them to the fore. How important is it for you to do those kind of like to work with brands that want to do that?
Yeah, I only work with brands that want to do that.
Yeah.
And thank God for Remy having a higher vision than just trying to sell.
Put your face on the thing and sell it. Yeah.
You know, they've also got a vision to unearth the diamonds, not just in Africa, but like you say, they started in America.
Yeah.
They're going to be doing this all around the world.
Yeah.
And they're on a mission to unearth diamonds, you know. And it's so easy working with a brand that values grassroots.
Yeah.
You know, they don't. These companies like Remy don't last for this long.
Yeah.
Just jumping on a wave.
Yeah.
They last this long because they nurture.
Yeah.
They nurture.
That's facts.
And you know, and they take care of people.
Sure.
And for me, there's a lot of brands that like would have loved to get involved in all that stuff, but I was very easy choosing Remy Martin because they want to uplift our people.
For sure.
And it's so easy to do a program in America and let it work.
Yeah.
But to try it in Africa, it's different. That's not internet.
Yeah.
You know, connection up accessibility is tough. So they take a big risk in doing a program like this. But the response has been great, and everyone who submitted with their heart and submitted with the vision that they want to win. Just by the beats we've been listening to, they've been submitting like they really want to win. And I'm really happy for Remy putting this together, and I'm happy for them as a brand saying that we stand behind South African music.
So I'll take like let me take like a sneak peek into the life of Ricardo Mercado, right?
Yeah,
I want to do this. Like, so now you're chilling at home, and then what happens? The phone call comes in, and they're like, "Yo, Remy Martin is on the line."
Yeah.
And also you're a guy who doesn't want to be on his phone, so you're like, "Aish, bafuna."
Yeah.
You know, like, and then they're like, "No, but actually maybe you might like this. So let's chat." What's going on in your head when the phone call comes in? Like, are you like, because you've done like collaborations with brands before, and you've worked with brands before.
Yeah.
Like, so when that call comes in, like, what goes through your head?
I think the first thing that goes through my head is, do they mean it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because anyone can promise you anything, right? Do they mean it? Are we really gonna create a program?
Yeah.
Or is it just gonna be us taking a bunch of pictures and then
Shoot on a billboard,
holding the bottle for 12 months? You know, do they really mean it? And when we sat down and met with them, I could see in the executives' eyes that they really have a passion for building up producers specifically. And really wanted to do something for producers.
That's dope.
I could see that passion in their eyes. So for me, it's like it's always got to be. You always got to meet face to face.
In the room, yeah.
The email, nah.
Yeah.
Bianca responds to the email, but she doesn't give you all the love on emails.
Yeah.
When we meet up face to face, you can tell like, do you really mean it? You know?
Yeah.
And Lord behold, they said they were gonna do it, and they've done it. We've had like. Close to 2.5 individuals who've submitted. So we're going through that, and
crazy.
It's
dope.
It's dope, and it's basically social media. It's not like we're running this ad on TV or there's just social media. People putting their stuff in, and that's if we think there's a lack of talent in South Africa, there's 2,500 producers who are saying
who made the cut,
who are saying that I'm here. So we must also recognize there's so much music to be made. Our industry is not small. Our industry is not just developing. We have people that are really passionate about what they do.
Absolutely. And like, is there anything that you can let us into right now that nobody else knows about in this program?
Tandama exclusive.
Well, I can't do too much, but
Yeah,
definitely,
give us a little bit.
But definitely, next week we're gonna be announcing our shortlist
Sure,
for Joburg,
sure.
and look out. For
And I
that.
hear there's gonna be a
It's
show
really
also
dope.
on the 26th.
Yeah, on the
Little birdie
26th,
whispered in my ear.
something for. I'm sure you guys are gonna be invited.
Yeah,
I'm sure you
absolutely.
guys have the invites already.
Sure.
And it's gonna be really fun, man. It's really fun working with this band because, like I say, like, you know, when we drink and when I drink personally, it's always to celebrate something. It's never to force something down the youth's throats. You know?
Yeah,
And
very important.
Remy's just stayed so classy, so professional, and allowed us to do things the way we want to do them, and we're going to develop a very long relationship after this, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity.
Yo, look, man, we could stay here the whole day and chop it up the whole day and like siphon as much as we can from Riky Rick, but he's gotta go, you know. Bianca just like gave me strict rules. She was like, yo, we got things to do, B. We're shooting. Apparently you guys are shooting at the new shop.
Yes.
Yo, congratulations on that, by the way.
Certainly.
And we're definitely Mzwakhe. I'm a feet boy. Yeah, but Mbele Sam, sibabona le.
Zan, please let me know.
We're
Let us know.
definitely going to pull through. We just, as a show, wanted to thank you. We also wanted to thank the people at our friends at Remy Martin for making this happen. Like, this is very unorthodox. It's very alternative radio. Our whole approach to it is like a digital approach where it's a shooter for YouTube. We're SoundClouding. We're also doing it for the gram. So we're not traditionally like a radio station. So this is not something like a lot of something other brands would be susceptible to. And we're very, very pleased that you could make it. Siyabonga. And there's a lot that you are doing for the kids, bro. Just like personally from me, I think what you're doing, like the way that you're leading your life, showing the kids that like family values
man.
are
That's
important.
so
You know, like umnandi kubakhulu ukushaya ama-J's, nanani sisebram, turning up. But like at the end of the day, like you need to have that family structure, and if you're working towards that, like things like this happen, you know. Brands like Remy Martin
Organically.
hit you up and they're like, yo, spana now. You know what I mean? And thank you so much for that, Doc.
Thank
Keep
you.
doing what you're doing. We can't wait to find out which way we're going next.
Yeah. That's easily my favorite jam.
So we're probably in the next couple of months, we're probably gonna be coming with some new projects or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And this project is more exciting for me because I'm allowing myself to do things that aren't what we think as traditional.
Yeah.
And I've just started playing with a beautiful group of guys.
Sure.
Just started playing live with them.
Oh, great.
And there's going to be a huge live element in the music we create now.
Nice.
And I want to go from like trying to do shows of like these 5,000 festivals with 20 people on the lineup.
Yeah.
I want to start doing shows of where it's like 300 of us in a room, 400 of us in a room. So just letting you guys know when the journey starts, you know, your energy will be welcome.
Thank you.
Stella Leo invites.
Yeah, no, we definitely will keep a lookout. We'll hit Bianca up. I know I've been stressing her. Like, Bianca's like, oh man, this guy. But, you know, it finally happened, and we're very thankful to her as well. Thankful to Riky Rick. The time now is 12:24. We still have Iskumi that we're going to do.
I'd actually like Ricky to leave us with that.
With
man,
Yam
you know,
Yam.
because we have a segment on our show
Oh, yeah,
that we
yeah,
call
yeah.
Schoolers.
Song.
So Njebuzova, no, if you can just leave us with one
song.
of your favorites,
Any.
any song that you want to school us with.
What
you know?
that you think would educate us? Or even if this is for you, but just a song that Ricky vibes to.
Of mine?
Nah,
It doesn't have to be your song.
But it's
You
good.
got it there?
I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. Trust.
Oh.
And Pubs is there on the ones
Yeah,
and
yeah,
twos.
sound,
We've
right.
got our
Let's
music
get it,
compiler
let's get
here. But me, on the other hand, I legit was attracted to Ulrich's family values.
Yeah.
For him, you know, I feel like he's a different breed of rappers,
Yeah.
you know. And I'm really grateful that our kids, whom at this point are still coming, will have Aboriki to
As reference,
as reference,
Yeah,
you
sure.
know, because it's quite important that we all, you know, work towards one
Building,
goal.
for
Yeah,
sure.
as a country even. And for me, definitely family values are at the top of that list.
And yeah, man, I mean that project musically.
Yeah.
I was saying to the guys, it's musically like after because Masi Mamela the first time Namachans, I remember when Alex, and we listened to Amachita Male, we're like, this guy music on. It's like very musical, right? Because you're expecting like bangers and
Right.
very trappy beats, but it's very musical. But after a while, like when I'm playing it on my earphones, I'm
Yeah,
like,
cool,
damn.
cool, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I be hearing that thing Mbele featuring Black Motion. I be like, this nigga singing right now. What's going on?
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about music is that the stuff that really lasts forever, you know.
Yeah.
And the stuff that maybe means something to people is really the stuff that they didn't think they needed at the time. you know.
Yeah, true.
My favorite albums, like I go back. I'm still in the 90s. I'm still like maximum 2001. That's where I still am. Those albums meant so much.
Yeah.
Meant so much to me, and I feel like we're still trying to play catch up in hip hop with people that created music that was different each time. You know?
Yeah.
And when an artist was copying like a certain wave, like people would call that out. You know,
Yeah.
you couldn't sound like
Style sa pasta,
you couldn't, exactly. You
Yeah.
couldn't sound like Nas.
Yeah.
You couldn't sound like Jay-Z. You couldn't sound like Gangsta. You know, you it was like taboo to do it. You know, and these days it feels like it's fine for everyone to sound the same.
Crazy.
And that's like one of the things we would need to look out for, and even just as the consumer, just look out for seeking that same sound. You know.
Yeah,
And try to seek other things that are different. You know.
for sure. Song? Give us a song.
I'll give you a song. So
Yeah.
basically, if you can go to, there's a song by Median.
How do I
Median,
spell that?
Love Again. MEDIAN.
Yeah. Love again.
Love Again.
Sure.
Or actually, no, play Simile. Middle medium Simile.
Simile.
And just listen to that record. Can you
Siwundla.
play it on the speakers?
Yeah,
You
we
can.
will.
Definitely play it on the
Definitely gonna bang it.
Listen, so this
Intro it.
this album got me through after
Yeah.
time.
Alright,
And I used to listen to this every day.
Simile.
Let me bump that. It's Midi and Simile. Let's go. That's Ricky's song on Stumi. Let us
This
know how
is
you feel
called
about it.
Schoolers.
Love, hate, relations. 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 Love, hate, relations.
Follow me like the douche tray on mic. Crave me like the cranberry on the ice. Hunger me like the black beans on the rice. Love me like the first crush in your life. Trust in me like husband does wife. Fuck with me like sluts with no price. Run with me like the bunny.